Hey everyone, Nick here with John again, and
hello.
You know, our set seems to have changed a little bit. John, so you may have appeared in a Varia video, if I recall, and I was working the Varia booth back earlier this year at the SCA show. Really just a great line of products. Like, I think probably one of the most dynamic I've seen in a long time.
Same, I totally agree. Again, I mean, we're talking brewing accessories, pour-overs. I mean, I've even got a French press right in front of me, which I think is really cool.
Mocha pot too.
Cups. Oh yeah, the mocha pot as well. Scales, all the way down to this this decanter. This is a double-walled decanter that Varia made. They've got a line of cups that are also double-walled in glass.
That's right.
Right behind me, right here.
Yeah, we have the SIP series cups. We have different decanters. We've got grinders. So we're really going to get all into it. Varia's approach really is about producing products that have a wide range of uses, right? That are very flexible, and last but not least, obviously the scales. We've got 3 of the Accu series scales. I think really kind of helping to redefine what a home coffee scale can do. Available in 3 different price points, with just the standard Accu, the Accu Mini, and then just the Accu Pro as well. Different solutions really for different use cases, whether you're a pure espresso head or maybe you've got your toe in both pools between brewed coffee and espresso brewing as well.
Yeah, and that's kind of my world. I'm an espresso guy, but I've been called a pour-over artist in the past as well. So we've got a few things to dive into here. For example, I did appear in that Varia FLO video. We're going to go through that a little bit again today.
Yeah, the Varia FLO just added to our site. This is a dual-walled stainless steel pour-over dripper. You've got 2 halves, obviously, with a gasket that seals them in between. On the inside, between those 2 segments, as John's showing you, is a interchangeable flow screen. FLO, of course, stands for flexible liquid output. And this is a dripper that uses flat bottom drippers, right? Or filters, filter paper. Truth be told, because this is about highlighting, I'd say, some of our lesser known Varia accessories, that we have actually already carried some brew devices from Varia before the FLO. So John, right in front of you, you obviously have Varia's French press, right?
That's right. That's right, yeah. And I really enjoyed using this. This is a really, really strong, sturdy, and also pretty French press. So if you like, we can make some.
Get brewing on that, yeah. But stainless steel inner lining on that one. Great filtration screen. That's something that really helps with French press to get the particulate out, because if you want those oils, you want that richness of the coffee from an immersion method, sometimes though you end up with a bit of that grit in your cup. And so that's one of the things I think that Varia does really well. On the other side, and we'll bring these up just so you can kind of see the form factor, very similar. This is Varia's mocha pot, but the French press and the mocha pot both available in black and in white. And then if you kind of want to go all in, right? Let's say that you're just not satisfied with having one device. Varia also makes, and you can find this on our website, something they call the Varia Pro Brewer. So Will's helping me out here. So the Pro Brewer is actually all in one. And that's going to give you modular French press, mocha pot, and pour over, okay? And so prior to the FLO, I would say if you're looking to do pour over from Varia, this is the way to do it. You do have an inside design here. Similar, reminds me a bit to the V60 on our cone here, where you've got ribbing, and I'm trying my best to show that to you, that helps guide the water down in there. And so this is just such a cool portable device. The bottom, obviously, for the mocha pot. I do make mocha coffee at home. I'm pleased to say that this is a really great option for that as well.
I didn't know you were a mocha pot man.
I have like a small, you've been to my house, you've seen, I have a small
I must have just totally missed it,
of brew devices, that I work with. But yeah, that's the Varia Pro Brewer, that's the French press, that's the mocha pot. I don't know if I'm allowed to use fire here at work, so otherwise I would be showing you how that mocha pot works. But John, let's let's make some French press, actually. Let's get ourselves
Yeah.
started with some French press because you've got probably the lesser sung grinder of Varia's that we also carry, which is their hand grinder as well, the Evo.
Yes, that's right. I had a really good time using this earlier. It's super for a hand grinder. This is super easy to use. A lot of torque, plenty of variation and flexibility. Really easy to use grounds chamber down here.
Yeah, magnetic attachment.
Yep, that's right. Now I've got this dialed
right
in for a French press right now, and I think I'm going to go ahead and just get us going. I'm doing a 16-to-1 recipe. So what we're going to do, I got a little bit in here. What we're going to do is 25 grams of coffee.
Yeah, so we're using just the base level Varia Accu scale for this one too. Also, again, probably like less fanfare recently because of the arrival of the Accu Mini and the Accu Pro. Oh, there we go.
There we are. Nice.
But this scale is accurate within 1/10 of a gram. And what's really cool about it is it has a weighing surface and a total capacity that supports both pour over and espresso use. So Accu Mini, and oh, there we go. Yeah, we're using, what are we using here? A little Columbia?
Yeah, we've got the whole Latte Love Columbia to Lima that we're going to work with today. Now this is a really nice one that has quite a bit of acidity, which is going to be good for a French press. I think you get a lot of body out of a French press because a lot of the oils will make it through in there. Now I've got 26 here. That's okay. Just I like to dose just a little bit higher and then adjust my grounds as they come out. But,
That's right.
All right. So here we go. Let me show you how easy this is. There's really not too much hand effort that you really need with this grinder. I've worked with a lot of hand grinders in the past, and I run into a whole lot of needing to go to the gym to use them.
Yeah, that lactic acid buildup.
Yes, sir.
Catching up to you there.
That's right. Here, let me get my magnets all straight here. Now we're talking.
Yeah, there's just a little slot there.
Got it.
There
nice. We go. All right. So check this out. Super easy. Ain't nothing to it.
So what's really cool while you're working on that is I'm going to grab some other tools from Varia. So we're going to keep going there just to show.
Sure.
The Evo has a variant that you also can pick up called the Evo Hybrid. And that guy is both a electric grinder and a manual hand grinder. So Evo Hybrid has a motor that you can actually attach in place of that crank. So I'm sure you may have seen some clever life hacks where people attach maybe a
drill or something like that.
Yeah, to their V60 grinder or something like that. So Varia kind of said, you know what? You can actually purchase a grinder that comes with a motor. And so what I'm holding right here, we carry these individually. If you happen to own a Varia Evo grinder, we can sell you just the motor attachment if you already have one, or maybe you want to have an extra one. Obviously this one's silver, we carry them in all colors, but it just attaches right on. And so you have to screw it a certain way there. There we go. All right.
Nice.
And then USB-C charging port, and you literally just press that button and that's going to grind for you. So these come with travel carry cases that have enough room to stow the grinder. Also, it's going to stow the motor. You're going to have your handle as well. And basically you can bring everything with you. So let's say you're going on a long bike ride, maybe you're camping, something like that. You're out on a boat, for example, and you'd rather be socializing and not grinding by hand as much, or maybe you're tired or you still got to make that trip to the gym. This is a really, really great option. When we were in Chicago earlier this year at the SCA show, we had an Evo hybrid grinder that we had just in the Airbnb where we were staying. We used that for a lot of our grinding. And so, John, that's a really nice coarse grind that you were able to get there. If you want to just show it on your hand.
Oh, sure. Yeah, check this out. Now, you can get much finer than this as well.
There we go.
Yeah, we can get much finer than this as well with that hand grinder. I did have this dialed in for French press, and I think this is going to make a really nice French press with this kind of grind level.
And so just French press wise, great for that, but then you can also use the grinder for pretty much any other manual brew method. Say for maybe cold brew, you may not get quite as coarse as you'd want, but if we go back to our ACU here, we're just in the standard manual tare mode, so we'll tear that out for you. That was 25. And so, yeah, just press power to start time, press tare to start, to tare. So, John, you're going for, you said, what ratio on this one?
We're doing 16:1. So I've got 25 in here. You can do this at home. Check this out. We can just do 25 grams of coffee. Just multiply that by 16. Boom.
So you just want 400 grams of water.
Yeah, nice and easy. So here we go. I've got some water ready to go right here. I hope I have enough. We should be okay. So I'm also going to start the timer as soon as I start pouring. So let's go ahead. Yeah.
There we go. Good flow from that Varia kettle too. Going to be coming to our catalog very soon. So, it's okay to fall in love. And John, any particular technique you use with your French press, or are you just going and adding all the water right in there? I've heard some people agitate, kind of what's your thought on that?
I'm relying on the flow of my water to agitate for me. I've got it pretty high up, and I'm just kind of adding all of the water at once. Now, I'm not too worried about it blooming. This is an immersion process, so I don't need to pour a little bit and then wait to let it bloom, because it's going to be degassing, which is the entire idea behind blooming in the first place, as it's sitting there. And it's going to start sitting there right now. Perfect. And I'm just going to let that sit. So I've got my timer going. A typical French press recipe is about 4 minutes. More time is needed because you've got such a coarse grind. And you can think of grind sizes like that.
You're steeping it kind of like tea, right?
Yep, that's exactly right. So we're only about a minute in. We got a little time before we're ready to drink some of this French press.
Yeah, but the ACU is just a perfect scale for this kind of thing too, right? It may not be as precise as something like the Pro or the Mini, but still you've got the size, you've got the capacity, and you still have the functionality to do any kind of manual brew method, which I think is really great about it. Now, on that same coarser end of grind and of some great Varia accessories, we also have Varia's Steep. So this thing is really cool too. This is a a cold brew carafe and coffee maker. Something worth noting, this is not like a travel mug that you make and then you drink out of.
Right.
You actually just would brew with this. You'd make your cold brew, and then you would obviously pour from out of here. But it's a really simple design. So you basically have a couple components here. There's a nylon insert in the center that you use to load your dose. This is going to filter out. So basically separates. So you have a wall here so the coffee can't go through. So you just load up into your nylon insert, reattach that, and then just add your water, and that's it. So you can pour up to 700 milliliters of water, so almost a whole liter of cold brew that you can make at a time. It's a beautiful borosilicate glass carafe here too. So
I'm also noticing how fine the mesh is there. That looks like it's going to get you some
back out again.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to get you some really nice clarity with your cold brew.
So you've made a toddy or two in your day, John. So tell us just a little bit about why that's important.
Yeah. I often, in the same way that French press can get you a lot of that grit on the bottom, you do want quite a bit of mesh, or very fine mesh, I guess, to get some of that grit out of there. They did a good job of that with this French press, very fine mesh, and this cold brewer is even finer. I mean, you can't even, on camera, you almost can't even see how fine it is. So I used to experience that with cold brew quite a bit as well, so it's kind of nice to see something that's getting even finer so we can get even greater clarity out of our cold brew.
So John, we're a little over 3 minutes. Is it time to take the plunge on that French press?
Yeah, I think I'm pretty comfortable with that at this point.
You want me to plunge for you?
I'm going to go ahead and plunge because...
So let's just get that lid secured in there for you.
Because I like to. Now, this is a pretty strong gasket, which I really appreciate.
Yeah, so to John's point, between that really, really fine filter screen and then also that strong gasket, you are going to need a little bit of upper body strength to push that down, but the result is going to be a very clean but still full-bodied French press, right? And so, I haven't seen the likes of that since maybe products kind of like Espro, I know, has a really, really intense filter screen on their French presses as well, but this is well insulated too, so you can keep it nice and toasty. So, John, let's show off some of our sip cups, actually.
Yes. These are some of my favorite cups that we have. I love the double-walled nature of them, so you're not going to burn yourself as you're holding on to your drink. So we've got 3 sizes here. We have the 220 milliliter. We've got the 185 milliliter. My personal favorite, Nick, is these 95 milliliter.
Your espresso cups, right?
You bet. Yeah, I love being able to look at my espresso through this glass as it's coming out. It just always looks so cool.
So the sips are great because they are usable, obviously, for espresso and espresso beverages. Great for pouring latte art, which we can show off. I'll maybe show off your skills on that Gaja Classic. But also, too, something I really appreciate about these, being made out of glass, they don't have a rough ceramic bottom. So if you've got, and I talked about this yesterday, fresh drip tray on your espresso machine or cup tray, for instance, you're not gonna scratch with the bottom of this like you would with a ceramic. So these are borosilicate glass, not gonna have thermal shock issues. They are dishwasher safe as well, so you can clean them very easily, but they're beautiful. You get 2 to a set, and to your point, John, you got multiple sizes. I think they'll be great though for us to pour a little bit of this French press coffee, and I can already see that's looking very nice.
Looking nice.
And so, Will, let's just, I'll put these forward. I do like brewing with double wall. I love seeing the liquid floating in there like that. It's always just, I think, a really kind of exciting way to serve coffee is being able to see it like that.
Yep, absolutely agree, especially when it comes to espresso, milk-based drinks, things like that. I love seeing the layering of the espresso. I love seeing the layering of the latte art.
Use that for
all
you.
All that kinds of thing. Thank you very much.
Let's
cheers,
try.
sir.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Actually, that's pretty tasty.
It's really tasty,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah. Yeah, I think using something that had quite a bit of acidity, like this Colombia Tolima, ends up tasting very balanced.
Yeah,
with
it really mellowed out.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, there's so many
that
extra
logo
oils that
front
you're going to
and
get in the
center for
cup when
us.
it comes to a French press. So
The body I'm already getting, I mean, it's very clean, but you're still getting, I'm getting almost like a, I feel like more like raisiny almost, or kind of like, like a dried fruit character to this.
Yep,
nice.
I'm getting quite a bit of that. I'm getting still plenty of acidity, which is just kind of the nature of this coffee as well, but the mouthfeel is so much bigger than I'm used to with this coffee. I've drank so much of this Colombia Tolima that I know it front and back. Way more body than I'm used to.
Very,
I'm really
very
enjoying
full-bodied extraction, And so, again, if you are looking maybe for the full Monty, you want to enjoy, because a French press hits different, I think, That might be where something like that Varia Pro Brewer, where if you want to do a pour over and a French press and a mocha pot, you certainly could, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. Very, very impressed with the Varia Pro Brewer, by the way. Especially for travel purposes, you've got so many different things right at your fingertips right there.
Yeah, and I mean, I think just having it be able to stow in a tidy little case like that, to me, like I use my coffee tools to decorate at home. I know not everyone does. And so if you want kind of something that's all in one, it's a great option. So I don't know if we have any questions so far on any of the stuff that we've showed off, but I say, John, maybe we show off some of these cups for some latte art.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
Let's pull a shot. And you know what? I've got that Varia VS3 dialed in for the flow right now. So we might need to make that a little bit finer. That's okay.
Yeah, well, so that's actually not a problem at all because we're at what? Just a little, maybe, we're actually right at 5, it appears?
Yeah, and I brought it one entire rotation courser.
One entire rotation courser.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay. So keeping that in mind.
Yeah. I think I had it on one entire rotation courser plus 1, so we want it at the 4 of the opposite
That's
direction.
the beauty of a single dose grinder like this. is we can make that change. So that's our 1 full rotation.
Yeah,
So
let's bring
five's
it over
going to
to
be
4, yeah.
Five's going to be our little signpost there.
That's right,
And
yeah.
maybe just around 4.
Now this is a good opportunity to talk about how cool this VS3 is too.
Oh yeah, I mean, we talked a little bit about it in our other segment, and we are going to be showing it off later, but yeah, the VS3, really versatile, compact, well-made grinder. I'm using my AccuScale now for, oh, didn't stop your timer there, we're at almost 10 minutes. But, you know, I can use it to dose for our espresso just as easily as I would for, actually, where's our crema wave? I'll open. Cheyenne,
Oh, you've got some right
perfect.
there behind you.
Grab some new wave, actually. But perfect,
very
yeah,
nice.
we're
Thank
doing just
you.
our dry dose here for our crema wave.
Nice.
Yeah, so.
Well, let's do it. Let me see if I can get some milk, and we'll start. We'll do a little latte art here. Now, Nick, you're no joke of a latte artist yourself. I've seen you.
I mean, I guess it depends on your sense of humor. But yeah, we can take a quick. I mean, is that your invitation for me to maybe handle this one?
Oh, I'll see what I can do here.
So, you know, the Accu is not a terrible scale for espresso by any means. Really, you're just losing that 1/100th of a gram precision on this versus those other scales. It's 1/10 of a gram accuracy, and the latency, the response time, is just a little bit lower, right? But I think it's worth showing that this scale too can be used for espresso. I'll bring it over to our classic here, and I'll just do 1 RDT, and I'm going to use my technique that I demoed previously, which is that we're going to tear out this dosing cup. So these are Varia's dosing cups. You know, there's so many different little things here that we have going on, but these dosing cups are great. They've got a modular design, so I'll bring this up closer and you can see that, but the bottom unscrews. You could use it if you want to do some shot prep to actually flip it, put it in the portafilter so that you could do a little WDT if you needed to.
So it becomes a shot collar.
It
It's sort
can
of a
be
dosing
used
funnel.
for that, yeah. Sort of a dosing funnel, and then that just screws right back on. They're available in 54 and 58, and they're available in black and in white. So they'll match whichever VS3 you have. Now, if you get a VS6, it's going to come with a cup like this one, so you don't need to get one. That's how I always know, because the VS6 has a black collar on the top, so I can always tell if people have taken it and it's grown legs and walked someplace else. But we've got this tiered now. We're going to do our hot start like I described. That just means we're going to turn the motor on. We're going to put, actually, our bellows back on too. Coffee back in. I already teed it to eliminate static. And there we go. And then, yeah, John, let's say for the sip cup, what are we thinking? Maybe one of the mid-sizes or one of the bigger ones?
I was thinking one of the mid-sizes. Yeah, I dosed out enough milk for about that kind of size. So, and we're going to be using the Gaja Classic.
This is the E24, so we have this coming up in our next segment. So for those of you thinking about it, it's certainly worth checking out.
And we'll get you a little preview right now.
And there we go.
Looks good?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Looks good. That extra, accuracy is really great when it comes to following very specific, very precise recipes. If you're just getting started and you want a scale that's going to be flexible, it's $99 right now. That Varia Accu is a great option for really anyone who's using, I'd say, multiple devices, and maybe you're not completely sold on, going all in for your espresso setup. And I mean, I guess, just a show, because I just, told basically. You can take this off, and you can put that right on here like this.
It's such a cool feature. The name Varia does have to do with variability, variation.
Do a little whisking, a little WDT, etc.
And this is a great example of kind of what they mean, what that ethos is all about, being able to use one device in many different ways.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And I may be doing a little bit of stalling just for my impending latte art challenge that we have coming up here. But we'll spin our Bravo.
Nice.
Tamp in there. And then, John, if you want to hand me one of our sip glasses, or did you? Oh, you already did.
Oh, sir, I'm ahead of you. I'm ready for you. Speaking of which, I got some water ready to go for when we want to demo this Varia FLO. FLO stands for Flexible Liquid Output. And that's because of the variable screens or discs that you can put in the bottom of it to kind of change the flow of water coming out of the brewer, change your brew time, change the turbulence, meaning the way the water moves through the brew bed. But yeah, it looks like we're ready to pull a shot.
Definitely not quite as compact as our AccuMini, Mini, but we can still fit this under there. And this does have a auto tare, auto time function. And we're just gonna manual tare with auto tare with manual time.
Here we go.
And I can just slide that scale out.
Ooh, that is a really, really, really nice looking shot.
It is looking good. And then obviously now we can go all the way back. So we're gonna go to 5 as our reference point.
That's right, yep.
And we're gonna make a full rotation and just go right back to 5 again. Like I said, it's the beauty of having a multi-purpose grinder like the VS3. I'll clip that there. And just a touch over, so first things first, slide out, and then good to go. So the Accu, like I said, perfect for espresso. We're gonna go ahead now and flip into
steaming mode.
Steaming mode.
That's right.
Oh wait, just rinse this in the sink over here. And then John, do we have any milk?
You know what, I've already dosed out some milk.
Ah,
We're good to go.
okay.
I'm ready for you.
And do we have any questions? Otherwise, no. Looks like we're doing all good here as far as
Fantastic.
questions go.
Yeah.
And then after this, I'd say we'll do our demo on the flow and then probably call it.
That sounds good to me. Well, let's
Perfect.
see. This does not take too long to get to steam.
does
Any
not.
second, this is gonna.
So I'm going to start actually with a purge. So
Okay.
we'll use this handy Quinto cast cup that we have up here.
Now you can do a purge before you see the light come on. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, you can purge essentially as soon as you get started because there's going to be a little bit of pressure in there. It's going to push that condensation out. And this E24 does have even better steaming performance with the new brass boiler. So, Will, I'll be pouring over here, so I'll put my cup down so you can get ready to show off my latte art skills.
Here we go. Want me to steam up for you?
No. I feel like I'll be the one to do that.
I am excited about that E24 steaming power, though.
And we've just got a standard frothing pitcher here. Immediately getting a vigorous roll in the pitcher.
Wow.
As Zach was saying yesterday, but you definitely can get latte art with the Gadget Classic.
Oh yeah, I've gotten it many times, and this is an even better whirlpool than I've seen on the Gadget Classic previous models. So I'm really impressed right now.
I'll take care of that steam one in just a moment, or if you want to.
Sure.
But Will, let's see some latte art, hopefully, and
Show me what you got, Nick.
good canvas with this cup as well.
Yes, sir.
So, not quite as good as, let's say, Zach, but the basic idea behind that Rosetta there, but really
It's fabulous,
just perfect canvas for pouring, great to hold, completely cool to the touch on the outside thanks to that double wall design. So these glasses are great just for, sipping on some French press, let's say, that you just made, or some pour over, but just as good too for making that latte art as well. So really just very versatile, good design again. And I always like on milk drinks how you can see the separation between the milk and the milk foam, and then also the coffee underneath.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite parts about this, to see the layers, and that just makes the drink even more attractive to me. So that's just one of the reasons I love this cup.
So John, let's cap things off with the flow, and we'll also talk about AccuFlow mode on our AccuPro scale there. So for those of you who aren't familiar, if you've been watching Varia's more premium scales, the AccuMini and the AccuPro have a few other operating modes. There's AccuSpro mode, which we've demoed earlier. Do you always use whole milk? Judy, welcome. Good question. John, tell us a little bit about why whole milk is preferred for pouring latte art.
Yeah, absolutely. So when it comes to getting that good microfoam and nice latte art and things like that, it's all about what we call surfactants. They're basically fats As you're adding bubbles into the milk, you need fats to wrap around those bubbles, and they'll stay constant and not pop, and kind of hold their texture the more surfactants you have. So whole milk does a fabulous job of holding on to those bubbles, staying intact throughout the entire pouring process. Now, you're also going to notice if you use alternative milks, like like oat milk or something like that, you do want to use some kind of a, let's call it barista series or barista approved alternative milk. And usually you'll see that on the box. Like Pacific has a line called Barista Series, and that's got enough surfactants in it to maintain the foam throughout the entire latte art pouring. So to answer your question more directly, I prefer whole milk. It's fabulous for pouring latte art. It can be done with other milks though, absolutely. Can you use heavy cream? Yes, very difficult though. And not just that, but loud. Heavy cream or half and half, when you're steaming, wow, it is loud. It can be very delicious for like a breve cappuccino or something like that. All right.
Really good when you shake too for like a cold foam as well.
Ooh, yeah, that's right. Nick, would you mind grinding for me, and I'll get this.
Yeah, what are we dosing here?
We're dosing 15 grams.
Are we using our Columbia Tolima again?
You know what I did? I did Crema Wave this time, and I'll
Okay.
tell you why. I'm using this is the Fast 1 screen or disc in the Varia FLO. That Crema Wave is a nice medium to dark roast, and this is going to make a lot of clarity, quite a bit of acidity, and not too long of a drawdown time. And I've tried the Crema Wave with this exact disc before, and I was pretty impressed with the clarity and sweetness that it was giving me. Now this medium 1 screen that's right in front of me, you might be able to see it right there. That one is going to increase clarity even more, but it's also going to boost sweetness a little bit. I do want a little bit of extra acidity in this darker roast, so that's why I'm going with this Fast 1 screen.
All right, so are we in AccuFlow mode?
Let's get into AccuFlow mode
All right,
here.
do you need me to dump that for you?
Oh, I would love that if you could.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And we've
There
got
we go.
our 3 Musketeers of scales up here. Grab this for you.
Now this is AccuSpro mode, also available on the Varia AccuPro. And the next one is AccuFlow.
Okay, so first things first, let's put that on top. We're going to put our vessel on, and then we're going to we're going to press power rather. So it's confirming. Now asking for our coffee dose. Pour that in. Also confirm there, John.
Confirm.
And so now we're prepared to start brewing, okay? So we've got, what, 15.19 grams of coffee. So, yeah.
Yeah, and you know what I'm going to do? We talked about this before. We'll just do it again. I'm just going to update this a little bit. 15.19. I like to do a nice 16:1 ratio.
Yeah.
Let's do 1:6.
And I just want to say, too, John, you're incredibly talented for having to pour upside down here.
Oh, this is not easy. I've tried this before. Here we go. Now, Nick, correct me if I'm wrong. The timer starts automatically when it
so
detects
it detected weight when you
I
made
must
a
have
little
tapped it.
adjustment
That's
there.
okay.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
basically, we're getting our ratio right above that timer, which is exactly the same way that AccuSpro mode works. And then you have your total liquid output down there below. So the screen's divided up into quadrants, and we can show those off once we get the dripper off, obviously. But John, what are we doing? We're just doing an initial infusion here?
Yeah, that's right. Now we're at about 30 seconds. I'm ready to do the bigger infusion. And I'm going to about 243 grams of water as a total weight. So here, I kind of want to just bring it to about 100. Yeah, we're at 107. I'm comfortable with that.
So we've got some Crema Wave in here. Now, which of the flow screens are you using this time?
Fast_1. Yeah, this one, it worked very well with a darker roast. It really sweetened it up. Kind of got some of the more roasty flavors away and just focused on the sweetness. I was really surprised, impressed with what this screen did. Now, we talked about that medium screen a little bit. The slow screens, once you start getting there, those are going to boost body up quite a bit. And surprisingly, you would kind of think it's one or the other. You either get acidity or body. That slow screen will boost both acidity and body. I thought that was really cool. Yeah. So you can do a lot between the Varia grinders, where you can change out different burr sets, see what those will do to the flavor of your coffee, and the different screens that you get with the Varia FLO. You've kind of got like limitless ways to make your coffee taste any different way that you want. So.
Yeah.
So here we go. This one was only like a 2-minute drawdown. That's fine for this kind of a very heavy, really soluble coffee. But let's see what we got if you want to drink some more coffee.
So you're at about a 1 to, is it 15 I'm seeing on there?
That was
1 to 16, yeah.
Yeah. Yep, yeah, pretty much 1 to 16 right on the dot. Exactly what I wanted. Yeah. I'm not always that precise, Nick. Today I did a nice one, though.
So, yeah, we'll try a little bit more coffee, actually. You're going to pull a fast one on me, right?
Were you ready for more coffee? Because it's going to happen anyway, bud.
I feel like I'm always ready for more coffee. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and I'll use another Varia SIP Cup again here.
Yeah, please. Hey, if you've got any other questions, feel free to send it in the chat in the bottom there, and we'll answer for you.
That's right. You know, John and I are very familiar with all of these guys that you see up here. The Varia kettles are coming. Hopefully, we're in December now, which, you know, still blows my mind, but sometime I would say hopefully near the middle to the end of this month is around when we're expecting them. So they're going to be available in a couple of sizes. These are digital electric kettles, meaning that they can be programmed to hold a temperature for you within 1 degree increments. They have a 0.8 and 1.5 liter version, so you can use that for a much larger, say, like a cupping session or something like that. Or just the standard. I mean, is that the first time you've poured with that
First time.
kettle?
First
Okay.
time.
Thoughts?
Really, really, really comfortable in the hand. Some of the the flow rate of it coming out of the kettle was really comfortable as well. Sometimes with certain kettles, I'll get not enough flow, too slow of a flow, or too fast of a flow. Just really comfortable. So I'm going to be really excited for that to hit the shelves.
Yeah, you know, so as far as that goes too, because I was talking to Jesse a little bit about this. In terms of this kettle, we found really the design on the spout, if you want to show it right here, Will, is basically flat at the top. And so what that means is he was able to, and I'll try to demo it here for you, pour in such a way that you could go very slowly and you don't have water dribbling down the edge. So the kettle is really kind of designed to be able to pour quickly. But you can also, if you've got really precise control, you could just drip and just do it incredibly slow.
Look at that. I would expect that to flow down the
Normally, yeah,
spout.
you'd expect that would be flowing down the spout, but because of the design and how it clips, you have the ability to just do incredibly, incredibly small pours that are very controlled.
Oh, that's going to be a fun one once that hits the shelves.
Oh, yeah.
I'm really excited for it. And how'd that feel in your hand? I thought it was pretty comfortable.
It feels good. The grip is an interesting design, actually. I'm a big fan of that. It's very stable, you know, and still looks great, too. I think we're going to be getting them in black and white, so they will match assortment of, you know, Varia accessories as well. Most products will be available in black and white. Some, like the Accu and Accu Pro, are going to be available in red as well. So how is the coffee? So AS, that's a good question. Now this is really got more of kind of like, I would say the roastier side of the creme wave coming out, I feel.
Oh, sure, yeah. Mouthfeel wise, I still have a lot of clarity though. It's not, it doesn't have a huge weight on the palate. So it's really just kind of sliding past my palate in a really like pleasant, comfortable way. Which is really impressive for the crema wave because that's known to be a pretty heavy bodied coffee.
I mean, we're getting like a little bit of bittersweetness, right? Like Baker's Cocoa, or where you have sweet and you have kind of that, like I said, the bitterness as well. More like kind of what you think of just like as traditional coffee, but like very clean too. You know
Oh
what I mean?
yeah, no, and I'm getting plenty of sweet chocolate aromatics after I actually swallow too. So I'm really enjoying this. No, glad. Thanks for asking. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now we've got we kind of ran the whole gamut of a whole bunch of different
that's right, we
Varia
did.
products here. And this is kind of the tip of the iceberg when it comes to what Varia offers. I had a blast with this one. I'm a huge Varia fan.
Me too.
And I think we made a ton of coffee in this short segment here. This
Yeah.
was great.
Like I said, this may be my coffee allowance for the rest of the day.
It might be
but-
mine too, yeah.